Okay, hopefully you got a chance to get you something to eat and drink, and you got a chance to meet 3 people. How many of you met 3 people? Okay, you feel good about these fabulous 3 people that you met? Okay, that's what this stuff is all about too. Do some networking. We are excited. I am Cynt Marshall. I have the pleasure to be the moderator for today's Black History Month program brought to you by Dallas Trinity FC. Let's give it up for this amazing organization. We've got Jim Neal out there. We've got Charlie here. I don't know if the others are here, but let's just stand up. Charlie's already standing up. Stand up, Jim. Let's give it up for him. We are so excited to have this women's soccer team right here in our beloved city. And just so it's awesome that Jim and Charlie and Dorian team decided, you know what, let's start off Black History Month a day early because we have a match today and we're not going to wait. We're going to go ahead and kick off Black History Month. So I'm excited to be your moderator. We have some amazing people here today. We only have 30 minutes and we could talk forever. I could talk forever by myself, okay? So let me give these wonderful people an opportunity first to tell you who they are, just a little bit about them. We have some questions that I have lined up, and then we'll give you an opportunity to have questions as well. And then somebody, Charlie or Jim or somebody, will just have to tell me when to stop because these questions are good. And I know you have some good ones too. So Byron, let's start with you.
You're going to start with me?
Well, I'm going to start with you. I know all these people, so this will be fun. Okay, we're going to start with you. Tell them who you are.
All right, everybody. One, I am here because Cynt Marshall said, "Hey, come to this thing." I didn't even know what it was, but I was going to be there. She gave me the time and the place, and I was like, "Great." Byron Sanders. I'm the CEO of a company called Arete Health. And we are all about revolutionary care through revolutionary access in healthcare. So insurance, healthcare benefits, and we're bringing it into unique and special places. We'll be talking a little bit about that as we go along. That's just one hat that I wear. I'm also a father. There's my baby girl right there, Bailey.
Hey, Bailey. That's my girl.
That's my girl. And then also I serve and have the privilege to serve as trustee with Dallas Independent School District on the school board.
Yes. Yes.
The place that raised me, Oak Cliff.
Yes.
So yeah.
Giving back. So proud of you. Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sara Madsen Miller, and I am thrilled to be here. Thank you so much to the Neal family for the invitation. And Cynt, love you. Anything you ask me to do, I will do it. Thank you for investing in the community, Neal family. This is a labor of love. It's a lot of hard work, and we don't take it lightly. So thank you. Thank you for your commitment. I'm one of the owners and the chief operating officer for 1820 Productions. We help brands tell their stories to help them drive business. So if you need more business, we're the people that you want to come to help tell your story. Prior to being in creative America, I was in corporate America with Pfizer over a decade, and I got great processes there, but I built freedom through entrepreneurship. And at the end of the day, it's what we do is we help brands connect and give them intention and a little bit of swag. Glad to be here.
Welcome. I love you, sister. Carlton.
Hello, Carlton, Dixon. First of all, as a kid from South Dallas who grew up in South Dallas, Lincoln High School graduate, thank you to you guys for bringing this organization to the community and, as you mentioned, investing into the community, into the South Dallas community. So personally, I just want to say thank you for that. By day, I am the founder and CEO of Reveal Suits, custom suit company, men and women, have a significant presence in the sports world. We do branded suits such as my Texas Longhorn suit here. I'm a Longhorn as well. We have 90 collegiate licenses that we make similar apparel for. We've been blessed to be the jacket makers for the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, and just excited to see what 2026 has in store. And look forward to serving on this panel with you guys, and thank you, Cynt, as well, too.
Amazing. Thank you. Marissa! Hey,
all, my name is Marissa Allen. My husband and I founded Cookie Society. So I actually did grow up here in the Dallas area playing soccer. So this is just a real full circle moment for me, watching people. That was the first inspiration, and I ultimately went to college on a soccer scholarship. And so I'm excited to be here talking with you guys about entrepreneurship and kind of a late found love for it. I have 3 kids at home. My youngest is 1, she's itty bitty, and my oldest is 10. So we got a lot going on in our house. And my husband and I still run day-to-day operations, and we're just continuing to scale smartly in the Dallas area.
I'm loving this already. Let's give it up for our amazing panelists. Okay, so I have a question for all of you. And then I have some that I have spread out amongst you. So the first one is, what does it mean to you to be visible as a Black leader in your industry, and how has that shaped your sense of responsibility? And so why don't we just go ahead and start with you, Byron?
Speaking of being visible, wearing this jacket today, my daughter made a joke on the way up. She's like, "That's the same jacket as your headshot." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "They're going to think you only got one jacket."
The kids will keep you honest.
They do. So it's important to be visible. Sometimes you want to let them know you got more. I got at least 2 jackets.
I got you, man. I got you.
Appreciate you. You already told Carlton
We
I'm
can
coming
get
this way.
you one made in a few
Coming
minutes.
this way. So it is really important to me that folks believe that they can live a life of thriving, opportunity, and options. And oftentimes, people think that they're doing that, except if you haven't seen how big and wide the world can be, and that it's relevant to you and that you belong in it, then oftentimes your world or your possibilities seem a lot smaller than they really are. That's why it's really important for me to not only have stepped out and gone on the very difficult journey, as we all know, of being an entrepreneur, but to do so visibly, to do so out loud, because when we are raising our kids, when we're raising the next generation, you know what it's like. We all know what it's like. Oftentimes, I was never taught that the thing to aim for is to own a business. I was taught, be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer.
Engineer, in
Right?
that order.
Those are the things. Doctor, lawyer, engineer. And you do that, get you a good job, set up your 401k, and retire. But there's this whole other world. And the thing that opens up the possibilities inside another person is to be able to see someone that they relate to, who could be a walking billboard of what is possible in their lives. Then they're like, okay, the world's wider. I see somebody who kind of looks like me. That thing that I thought was for them could be for me. And that's why it's just really important to be visible and out loud with it.
I love that. Walking billboard. Write that down. Keep notes out there. Walking billboard. Sarah.
To me, visibility is more than just being seen, right? Visibility is about many times in the corporate space. I was in leadership with Pfizer for over a decade. It was a blessing to be able to learn, like I mentioned before, processes there. And then jumping over into Creative America, we've been blessed to be an Emmy award-winning production company for the great stories that we get to tell, right? And so I for visibility for me is showing up if somebody needs support in understanding how they maneuver in the corporate world, and tricks that I've learned and times that I've hit my head. I graciously, with my hand open, share everything that I've gone through. Right? Because visibility is not just about being seen. I'm very involved in the community, but it's about those one-on-one encounters to help people navigate their next step, whether it's in the corporate space or, like I said, I'm blessed to be in the creative space now, in the creative space. And visibility in the creative space to me is kind of demystifying what it means to be an entrepreneur. I didn't have, my dad worked at 3M. My mom was a nurse. They towed the line, went to work 9 to 5 every single day. So I didn't have a picture of what entrepreneurship is or could be. So to me, I think in the entrepreneur space, I try to demystify it This is what it took for me to get to where I'm at. This is what networking means and how you do it. This is what a good business plan means. This is what it means to have a really good lawyer, a really good accountant, to make sure that your books are right, that you're making your profitable so that you can pour back into the nonprofits like this young lady in the front that's doing some great work in the nonprofit space for kids, so that we can give back to the community because we have positive cash flow in our companies. So that's visibility is a lot of different things to me. In the corporate space, it's one way, and the creative space, it's another way. And hopefully, I can share and I lead with my hand open. Whatever God's given me, and I've learned from hits and bumps, I freely give out.
Oh, I love that so much. So take note about that hand, having it open for people, showing up for people, being there for them. My theme for Martin Luther King week was dream work. It was all hands on deck, dream work, teamwork, and handiwork. It was about that hand, being there for people. So I love that. Okay, Carlton, talk to us about visibility and kind of what it means for you to show up as a black leader in your industry.
Yeah, for me, my business, a big part of our business model is doing team travel suits for football teams. On game day, you see them suited up walking into their arenas and the stadiums. I say that to say visibility for me translates directly to the impact that I have on today's student athletes. I was in their shoes. I was the kid that grew up in the hood. I was the kid that, mom had to work 2-3 jobs, right? I was the kid that knew nothing about a suit because we couldn't afford it, right? And so when they see me as the face of the brand, the face of the company, but also involved with it from a day-to-day standpoint, I'm there doing the measuring. I'm there helping them with fabric selections and style selections and what may look good on a bigger body versus a smaller body, things of that nature. And when they see that, and quite honestly, a lot of their questions, they've been, hey, so who do you work for? Mm-hmm. Who's your boss? Who owns it? And I'm like, you looking at them.
That's right.
And the impact that has after they've already heard the story that how I grew up, been in your shoes. And so for me, being visible and leading in that way and the impact that has, super quick story. I got a phone call. We measured, we do the suits for Florida State football. And I got a phone call about 3 years after we did their 2019 team, I think. And young man, he called me and wanted to thank me because he had started a custom shirts business in Tallahassee. And he was like, I remembered you coming to our campus fitting us, and you were a black man that owned this company. And he was just like, I just want to say thank you. And so you talk about just the impact that the visibility has. That's just something that is super important for me.
That's true impact. He saw it and he knew that he could do it.
That's right.
I absolutely love that. Marissa.
So I love that you ended the question with responsibility.
Yes.
Because I think that's how it's really evolved over the few years. When we started, it was kind of a pet project, and I would work every day, and I was making all kinds of stuff in the back of that store in Frisco. I was making cinnamon rolls and all kinds of things. And then we had people that came in, and it was the same. They were shocked that we owned it, and that we not only owned it, but we built it. And then we started getting young women coming in, and not just seeing that I was a baker, but that we were doing it with some structure. And I wasn't just a baker, but I was also a leader of my company. And I think that was incredibly impactful. And so every time we would revisit, we survived another year, and it would be, okay, what are we trying to do? And so when we first started, we're like, this would be so cool to not only have this store, maybe we take it across the country. My husband played professional football, and he's played in Houston, he's played in Kansas City, and we're like, wouldn't it be cool to have one there? He's from Chicago, have one there. And then we realized that there was so much work to be done here in the Dallas area. And as much as I would love everybody to try our cookies, I think not only are we providing a great product and service, we're also showing what consistent leadership looks like, and we're also building leaders, and we hire people, and we have a great retention rate. I'm very proud of our retention rate because, like you said about putting that hand out, we are bringing people into those meetings and letting them know our thought process and kind of why we're making the decisions we are. And so this has become a responsibility, and not just as Black entrepreneurs in this community, but also as like a Black woman, I feel like a different sort of, it's not even a pressure, it's really an honor, but kind of a responsibility there.
I love that. It's such a privilege. Such a privilege. Okay, so I want to pick up on that notion of leadership. And so, Byron, I'm coming back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Give us a defining moment, just a defining moment that helped you really shape your approach to leadership and entrepreneurship.
I'll use probably one of the toughest times in my life. So I'm the kid, grew up here, Dallas, Oak Cliff, DeSoto, southern part. And I grew up in a household where I always was involved. I was always outside. I was always engaged. After school programs, track, football, Odyssey of the Mind. It's called Destination Imagination these days, all that stuff, Math Olympiad.
Odyssey of the Mind.
Odyssey of the Mind. There was a little raccoon on the shirts, and we would wear it and go to the things. Now it's called Destination Imagination.
I love it.
So that was an identity that I built, but I built it from a place of trauma. Because my mother was regularly, I grew up in a household of domestic violence. And so it was unsafe at home. And so anytime that she took us to practice or football or whatever, or the game, we weren't at home. And if we weren't at home, my mom was safe. And so imagine kind of carrying that since you were like 6, right? But I got good at going because I would go, get involved, and then I needed to be really good because I needed to bring home like a medal or a sticker or a trophy or a report card or something because I run in the house and be like, Dad, look what I got. Aren't you happy? Dad happy, mom safe. So that became an identity for me. I get all the way up to college and I'm doing the same things. And I was at SMU, so I'm literally on the poster kid at Southern Methodist University doing all this stuff. I was really just being active without purpose.
Right.
I did not have a reason. I did not have a North Star. And the interesting thing is, you can take even positive traits that you've built, and if you haven't grounded it in purpose and rooted yourself with a good reason that is connected to your identity, you can go astray. So I got involved in an organization, another one that I was going to fix because I thought I had the Midas touch. Got involved in a fraternity, and that fraternity was doing some stuff that wasn't above board. I was like, yep, fixing it. I'm going to go undercover, get my letters, and then I'm going to graduate. I'm going to cross, and then I'm going to go recruit some other guys and all. So I had this master plan for how I was going to turn this chapter around. Nearly the worst happened after I had pledged and we were bringing in the next line. A guy that I recruited almost passed away. And then everyone is expelled. By the grace of God, he survived. By the grace of God, he survived. But then I thought my life was over. Because I was this poster kid, now all of a sudden expelled, facing charges, all of that. And I felt like I just let everybody down. And then that's when I got the biggest lesson of my life. A brother who had made a decision 20 years ago to find his purpose was sitting in the exact seat that he needed to be in order to save my life.
Oh, beautiful.
His name was Earl Johnson, and he was over admissions at the University of Tulsa. He was the only person who would hear my story and know that I had something left to give. Gave me a second chance. And so everything that I thought I had done just by being dope, because that's what I thought it was, I realized it wasn't me. It wasn't pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. It was always through the grace, participation, and a hand from other people.
Yes. Yes.
I never lost that lesson. That lesson has carried me and has propelled me into every single thing that I've done since, including this business. And I recognize that it is through the participation of other people that we get to live our purpose. Write it down, figure out what that identity is for you, but it necessarily involves making somebody else's life better.
It's about purpose.
It's about purpose. And so leadership, to me, the most rooted leaders that are going to take you through the highs and the lows and to accomplish the most in life are because you've done the deep work to figure out what your purpose is first and recognize that it's going to take a community and a village in order for you to make it happen.
Yes, because it's not about you.
It ain't.
It's about all of us working together. I
Amen.
love that story. So let's get into a question that I have for you around values. So we'll hit the other three. because I definitely believe in values-based leadership. So the three of you, give us at least one value that drives you and drive how you lead, how you manage your business, how you live. Sarah?
The value that I'll share is trust for leadership. There's an old saying that trust is gained in drops and lost in buckets. And I learned that a hard way in my Pfizer career. I was as I mentioned before, I was in leadership, and I'm going to share a story if we have a couple seconds.
Yes.
So I'd always made quota. My teams had always made quota. There was a certain situation where a young lady was up to win an award trip, and she didn't get the cut. She didn't make it, and I told her, but I handled it wrong. I handled it a little too flippantly. And she had just gone through Katrina. She was trying to make sure her family was alive, and she had, resources and all that kind of stuff. It was a traumatic time for everybody. And I handled it wrong. And I saw it in her face in the moment when I lost her trust. And I realized I don't have enough emotional intelligence to make sure that I'm a strong enough leader. So then I backed up and did everything that I could, learning, classes, the hard work, digging in to make sure that I would never damage somebody's heart again. And in that moment, I still, it's been years, it's been decades, and I still remember it like it was yesterday so that I don't do it again. And so that's how I lead, to make sure that I'm building trust, and how you build trust is being consistent, doing what you say you're going to do, empowering people and believing in people, and then helping people to rise to their next best, greatest opportunity and best self, that part of the purpose. And then once you've built trust, then you can allow people to fly and take the risks and to be innovative and creative, and clients know that you're loyal to help them get to the bottom line. So trust to me is the value that's
I love that so much.
I mean, integrity is our North Star, right?
Yes.
A
Yes.
given, but trust is the next.
I love that so much. One of my favorite books is by Stephen M. R. Covey, The Speed of Trust. When you have trust in an organization, things happen quickly. Carlton, give us a trust. I mean, a value. Give us a value. Give us a value.
Trust too.
Trust but verify. Give us a value
Yes.
that works for you.
We just believe in doing everything in excellence. In excellence.
Love it.
And, I of course, I say it in more tactful ways than this, but I don't want to hear anything about, well, we black owned, or we did none of the shortfalls. I don't want to hear that. We operate in excellence because it just is what it is. And if we're just going to all be real in this room, this has a stigma.
It does.
This has a stigma.
That's why we started at 2:30.
And there you go. Little things like that, though, right? And so, in an industry that doesn't have as many visible African American owned leadership, we have to be excellent in every way, above and beyond.
Absolutely.
And I just wear that, and I wear it heavily, but I wear it proudly. And so, from a value standpoint, for me, it just starts and stops with excellence.
And we
of course,
see it.
yeah, there's humility in there as well, which we should all partake in. But we just have to be excellent in everything we do.
Wonderful. Marissa, what's yours?
Ours is accountability. So this is really big in our organization, and I say this because I get the opportunity to come on a lot of stages and talk about the things that we've done and the places we've been, and so I get to be accountable for our wins, but we also are accountable for some of our missteps behind the scenes and with our team. And one thing that we've learned is it's been a little harder to find good leaders because we're a startup. We're still figuring some things out, but we have learned how to build good leaders. And it starts with accountability. And so if there was something that wasn't provided in a timely manner for our teams to thrive, we take accountability for that. And it's taken a while, but we're starting to see the trickle down of that. We're starting to see, hey, my bad, I did this or I didn't do this, and this is what I did to fix it. So we try to lead like that. It can be very humbling, as you mentioned. It can be very hard because we've never done this before. We don't have a background in food service, but we are also striving for excellence, and that takes a different level of accountability. That's not just, we'll get the next one. No, it's taking that next step because it kind of comes back to that first one about responsibility. Yes. And we are so fortunate to be in the space that we are and to be doing as well as we are in the industry. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of places that at no fault of their own, some of them, they're just not making it. And we are incredibly grateful to be here. And for as accountable as we are of our success, we also know what we have to do to show up the next day and for us to still be in the market, still be in the industry next year. So we're going to continue to preach accountability, and we're going to continue to humbly show up for our teams. And I think that's incredibly important for all businesses, not just Black-owned businesses, but especially if you're trying to scale or to do something great. I think that's the first step.
I love that. So trust, excellence, accountability, and yours is a story about responsibility and helping somebody recover. Love that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. I have 2 questions. Do I have time for 2 questions?
You got all the time you want, Cynt.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, so question I have, and we'll try to kind of get this to all of you, but I'm going to start out with Byron. What parallels do you see between team sports and building a successful business or organization?
Oh my gosh, I actually don't see a lot of air between those two at all. Sports is life in a lot of very real ways. But one of the key things is, I hate to echo everything that's been said, but trust.
Yes.
So one of the most beautiful things to watch is slow motion videos of kind of like the heyday Golden State Warriors. And one of the things that I love is them on a fast break. And y'all remember, fast break means you try to finish at the rim. That's what you're supposed to do on fast breaks, unless you have the 2 greatest shooters who've ever set foot on a basketball court. And the beautiful thing that I love to see, Steph's coming up with the ball, and he throws the ball to open space, or it looks like it's open space. And then Clay's right there.
Splash Brothers.
Gets the ball, and I know she loves this because I'm talking base stuff.
I grew up in the San Francisco
She
area.
did.
I love my Mavs.
But it's that trust. You have to, of course, right? Yeah, Mavs fan for life. But that trust to know that your teammate is going to do the thing that they said that they were going to do.
Yes.
And to know that they're going to be there. And I'll be in a meeting with a brother that this is our second rodeo. We built this thing together. He'll say something. We have not talked about this thing before. Mm-hmm. But because I know him so well, yes, I'll pick up on it and I'll say what he's going to do about the thing that he just lifted up, having not said that, hey man, this is actually probably a good place for you to step in, but because we know each other so well and we trust each other, yes, we can even do that on the fly and still be able to deliver for our clients. That trust is so critically important, obviously in business development, but also when things go wrong, when you did not meet the standard of excellence that you wanted to have for somebody out there, mm-hmm, to know that you can stand up, own that in front of the client, and know that your team is going to help you make it right, yes, when you go back, that's critical. Trust is the exact same thing. So to be able to throw the ball to open space and know that Clay's going to be there, that's the same way that I move when we're moving, grooving, and you got to go fast as an entrepreneur. You got to be adaptable in the room. Yes. To be able to do that with people you trust is priceless.
You learn how to have each other's backs. Okay, Sarah.
I will say, I mean, all the things, but clear communication is really important on teams as it is in entrepreneurship and as well in corporate America. So if you have really clear communication, then you help your team to be trained well, to know where they're going, to know what the goals are and how to get there, and then everybody can be successful together. And then for me, it's really important to train the next generation of super producers. And when people come to us, if they're starting off as a production assistant, they eventually want to be a director, or they want to be a producer, or they want to be an executive producer. And we try to show them the path to get there and allow them to sit in and understand what we're doing and have clear communication and rules and strategy to get there. And then we empower them to do just that. We give them opportunities to, make the mistakes, and then we're going to build them back up again and help them continue to fly. So for me, it's clear communication and empowerment.
Love that. Add to it, Carlton.
Sometimes the head coach doesn't watch film properly, right? And executes a bad game plan, and you get blown out. So as I mentioned before, we had we do, and been blessed to do a lot of football team travel suits. We had done about 8 or 10 football teams, and then we had a ladies group out of LSU hit us up. Hey, love to see what you guys, we love what you guys are doing. We have a group, we love to be trendsetters. First female group. Oh man, let's do it. 50 young ladies wanted to be in business suits. Love it. Took my team down to Baton Rouge. We did the fitting. About 4 weeks later, went back down, took the suits back, came back. The head coach had not done his proper research on female body measurements and how different they are from male body measurements, all right? And this is about 1.5 years into the business. We took those suits into their room. They were the worst looking suits you will ever see.
No.
They were coming back in one by one, and I'm sitting there just, you start rocking. And the lady, the sponsor of the organization, she did me one of these.
Lord.
Had to go to the principal's office.
Yeah.
From a leadership standpoint, had to take it. Didn't do my homework, didn't do my research. And so had to give a full refund. Nobody wants to do that, right? But talk about customer service, accountability, had to be done, right? I can't sit here and say, I wasn't offering excuses. I wasn't doing any of that. So finished that. I might have had a few hurricanes that night to drown myself in Baton Rouge. But that next day, it was time to research properly.
Yes.
And watch the correct film.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's never happened again, I'll say that. So accountability and humility kind of mixed in, both of those.
Thanks for sharing that story, because it's also a great story about preparation.
That's right.
Which is what I love about sports. You have to prepare.
That's right.
You got to practice. You got to be ready.
It was tragic.
If you're going to deliver.
You gonna get blown out?
And sounds like we didn't have the proper preparation. Yes. Marissa.
Ours is going to be probably discipline. That's been interesting. My husband and I both played team sports, and we knew how to be disciplined, and we knew how to do the work. That's the only reason we made it to where we are. I think you'll see a lot of talented athletes that don't quite make it because they don't have the discipline to do it. And I'm sure we all can think of one that maybe we grew up with, or that we're seeing right now, that just lacks the discipline to really kind of make it across the finish line. And so we discovered that early on, that was going to be what could make or break our business, was the discipline to be consistent. And oh my goodness, I have a conversation every single day about why consistency and discipline matter. And now we have gotten to the point where we've got questions in our interview about it. I don't care if you came from food service. I don't care what you did before. If you lack the proper discipline to show up and to provide the exact same service, demand the same service from your team, and to continue to show up for the community that you're serving. We're in 5 different cities. We have they're different markets. Frisco is very different from Mansfield, and kind of the needs and the way we have to meet our customer where they are. And so I require whoever's in that role as the manager, whoever's running that store, to show up with discipline and to deliver the same service and that same expectation that we established in Frisco or Addison. And y'all, we're not perfect. It is very hard to do. We have a very young team. We're in food service. I have a lot of high schoolers. I have a lot of freshmen in college. And so to demand that of them when they might not have had that expectation of them before, I feel like a mom sometimes, trying to, no, you have to show up and do this. It's not actually optional. And I think as we continue to just hammer discipline home, I think we're finally starting to get the people that we need in the building. But that's, I think, probably the most impactful in our organization.
I agree. Discipline is huge. So, Sarah, I have one for you, and then I have a final question to close this out. We're here because of women's sports and because of the Neal family making a commitment to women's sports. And we know what it's about. It brings community, visibility, belonging, all of that. What more can we do, the business community, to support women's sports, and especially Dallas Trinity FC?
Supporting women's sports, it's not a charity. It's an imperative, and it is something that is necessary to create space for people to see themselves, to thrive, to build discipline and excellence and trust and accountability and communication. It's the Dallas business community needs to sponsor They need to invest. They need to show up whenever the cameras are not on.
That's right.
They need to be visible and present and helping it to succeed, because that's what's going to continue to build and flourish this community. Young girls like Bailey need to see adult women playing soccer successfully and sponsorships behind them so that they can get the money that they deserve, so they don't have to have 2 or 3 other jobs. That's the goal, right? And we need the business community to stand up and step up and support it, just like they do every other male sport in this community. It's an imperative. You want thoughtful, mindful young women, and how they get to that is sports.
Yes.
When they're young, they understand what teamwork is.
Yes.
And that's the leaders that are going to be in your businesses. That's the leaders that are going to be in your as entrepreneurs in this community. It starts with team sports when they're young. So it's imperative that Trinity FC makes it, and that the sponsorship and businesses in this community rise up to support it. It's critical.
It's critical. It's an imperative. I love that. Before I ask my final question, do we have any burning questions from the audience? And state your name back there so you can be famous. You might already be famous.
Yeah, I don't think I want anybody else to know my name. My name is Carlton. I'm from the Center for Healing and Justice Through Sport.
Oh gosh,
And
thanks.
I'm currently getting an executive MBA at SMU. My background, but I'm fixing it.
Oh, I love it. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for that. I love that.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I'm working on a capstone right now where the project is essentially to develop a women's sports bar here in Dallas, the first one. I'm asking for lessons you've learned about serving an underserved audience while building a scalable business, especially here in Dallas. And if you have any advice on working capital support, I'd also love to hear that as well.
Who wants to take that great question? Okay, Byron.
I'll be real brief. One, the framing. So an underserved community is an undervalued asset. And if anybody's an investor, one of the coolest things you do is you go find assets that have not been properly valued.
Yeah.
And it's not the intrinsic value, it's the people who are doing the valuing not seeing the value.
Right.
But because you have a different life experience, you have a different lived experience, you actually know the value. So it's a competitive advantage. How you framed your business, that's what I would say. So it doesn't come across like my sister Sara was saying, that we're doing charity work to go and serve people who haven't been served before. No, they haven't been served before, but it's not because somebody needs to give them anything, it's because people didn't see the value. These people have value. I know how to make sure that there's a business model that brings that out. So that's the first thing that I talk about with framing. On the access to capital side, let's talk, because we doing pretty good over here. and we have some resources, and that's the thing that we're trying to put resources to work specifically for historically underutilized business, like hub qualifying people. And I know we ain't supposed to say DEI no more, but that's what we're looking to do, right? We're looking for those kinds of events. So let's talk afterwards, but that can be good.
Love that. Love that. Another question.
Hi, my name is Mariana. I'm a former professional athlete and now a FIFA talent coach.
Nice.
Mr. Carlton, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am.
You shared that one of your values is the excellence, which I share. And you also share the story about the wrong suits. In my country, we say that if you're black, you gotta be twice as good, should be in the room. And excellence then for you is, you think when you analyze the whole context and the word, is something that it needs to be a value because we don't have the opportunity or the privilege to make mistakes.
Correct. I mean, yes.
Brass tacks.
It's
You hit it.
where we start, and I don't want to say behind, but we start with that stigma. Again, the stigma, right? And so whether it's being timely in your email response, whether it's being, whether you're proofreading, correct, no typos, right? What does that presentation look like before I send you to XYZ school, right? And so it doesn't seem fair, but oh well. And we got to rise above it because it does exist. It can't be the hindrance, right?
It is the foundation. well. So it's, before we start talking about values, we have to change the foundation.
Correct. Yes.
Right, you gotta lay that foundation.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, Bailey, we're gonna give you the last question, and then these wonderful people will be available after the panel for you to ask more questions. Bailey.
I'm Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi,
Bailey.
We're so proud of you, Bailey.
I don't have an occupation, but I'm a junior.
Oh, no, you have an occupation. It's
You
a
do.
student.
That's
You
your
are a student.
Get it done.
And
Yes,
a great
and
daughter.
a great student.
And a great, yeah.
My question is that because you all are such minorities in such a competitive industry, how do you fight that kind of imposter syndrome that's telling you, or that little voice inside your head where you just feel like you might not belong?
Ooh.
Marissa, why don't
I'll
you
take
take that
that
one?
one.
It's about
I love
imposter
that.
syndrome. Great question.
That is real
Great
because I
question.
don't have a background necessarily in what we do, and I definitely don't have a background in doing it at the scale. We have 89 employees at this point, and we're running like
That's awesome.
John. 18 to 20 hours a day. Like we are busy and we have a lot of functions going on. But I remember we had a friend and his dad owned a manufacturing facility. And this is before, I think we had just opened our first store. This was COVID. And so he gave us the opportunity to come in. And it was crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, he's in the big leagues. But we sat down with him and we were talking, and they're still figuring things out. And so these people that you think have it figured out, that are killing it, that are doing it, they are still figuring it out. And there are businesses that you see and they're just massive footprints, let's put it like that, multiple units, 25, 30 units, and they are still trying to figure out capital for tomorrow. They don't have the cash flow that they need. There's people that aren't doing their taxes properly, and they have what looks to be a really big business. And that's something that we've learned after having the opportunity to be in a lot of rooms and talk to people. And there is nobody more suited to do what God put you on this earth to do than you. And I truly believe that what's for us, what's for me, is there. And it's not necessarily a race to it. Like, I'm not sprinting to beat someone to the next Cookie Society or to store number 6. I'm doing what we're capable of doing, and I don't think anybody could do it better than me. And I think you have to own that. And, you as a student, there is no one who's going to do better at this than me. And I know it can be stressful when you see other people and you're like, this is coming really easy to you, but it doesn't quite matter, because even if it doesn't come easy to you, the stuff that I figured out along the way has been invaluable. Those mistakes that I made, I'm not going to make them again. I can help somebody else not make them again, and I am now a better person in my community because of it. And so imposter syndrome is just an opportunity to figure it out on your own versus asking them for it. Yeah,
Love that
you got it.
That's why I be
response.
bringing her this
Love that
stuff.
response. It reminds me of a book that was written, actually, she is one of my mentors, by Joyce Roche, called The Empress Has No Clothes. And it's a great book, and it tells stories about men and women who talk about the imposter syndrome, and it's real, but how you get through it. Great response. Okay, so we're wrapping this up because we got a soccer match to get to. Okay, so
I have one thing I have to say.
you own this.
So spectacular. I knew that when we asked Cynt,
Come, Jim.
to help us with this panel, that this would be a good panel and a good show. I watched it for 10 or 15 minutes, and I was saying to myself at the end, I got to tell these people, this is the best panel we've ever had.
Wow.
And I said, no. This is the best panel I've ever seen. All right? This is the most productive, useful, heartfelt, impressive panel, and I'm 71 years old, so I've seen a lot of panels. This is the best one I've ever seen. I can't thank you guys so much. I'm re-energized to get more involved with the community. I think we've already been committed to be involved with the community. I want to be more so. I hope and invite all of you to be more involved with our club, because we would love to have you be a part of it. But I can't thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. And thank you, Cynt.
I love you. And I was taught a long time ago at AT&T, don't talk past the sale, don't talk past the close. Our owner just spoke, enjoyed the match today. Thank you.